There we go. Let's have this information as well. Isn't Sora Kuma from Taiwan? I believe so, right? Yeah, he is. And reports Russian. Yes, okay, just making sure. Alright, this is all good. Sora Kuma report. This is a play. This is a best of 5. There we go. This is just actually round of 16. Yeah, like this, round of 16, best of 5. Right? And wow! Thank you so much for the sub with Prime Gaming. It's very much appreciated. I'm sorry, this is taking kind of long now. Qualifier, Wallhalla. There we go. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. We are good to go now. We are properly set up. King of Nargov. It's very much appreciated. Thank you for the support. Never noticed flags and captures. Nice. It got updated last week, I think, so it's a fairly new feature. Nobody might have been using it too much. You can also use custom pictures, but it's going to be confined. I was testing it the other day, and it's going to be confined to this little square area. Yeah. Once again, I really wish that they had it set up kind of like this, so you could make this shape, you know, like so. This would be ideal, I think. That'd be so cool. Regardless, FLH is already on the way for Sora Kuma. We are joining the game. We are fast forwarding to catch up, and yeah, we are catching up right away, and the players are already thinking of going up to the next stage. At the very least, Sora Kuma is going up on 20 population, which means he's gonna try and put pressure. He's playing with Gujaras, which is interesting. It's not necessarily what I was expecting to see over here, especially when in a map like Territorial you have access to extra resources for free. So you can utilize your Gujaras bonus to garrison your herdables. But now we see the camel coming forward. And once he gets to the FLH, there we go. He sends some villagers over here. We're going to see him try and put pressure. Potentially go for a tower. And try to breach through over here. Repard hasn't recognized the situation yet. Or at the very least, he's not really done anything about it. So very soon we're going to see a tower come up right next to the palisades. Around here. I'll imagine not necessarily here exactly, right? But yeah, probably around here, I would say. So he would end up forcing the blue player to delete the gate if he wanted to target the tower. And oh, he's going for it right next to the right hand side actually to push the villagers away. He got vision. Oh, he sees the fell tree, so he's got vision of the lumberjacks on the right hand side. But this is not good. Because Repard's got wood for days, he can just make a move over the right hand side over here and go for another lumber camp, and that tower all of a sudden isn't really doing much of anything. I mean, it's not pushing the villagers away. I guess it's pushing villagers away from goal, so this is a good... Yeah, that is going to be in the end an effective tower, but definitely would have liked it to see a little bit closer to the wall. Would have covered the entire goal line over here, and he would have been able to... Yeah, maybe get past here a little bit sooner. Well, in the end, he does end up taking the gate down, and Repard's forced to react with a second layer of walls over here towards the TC. Yeah, and Sarkum is just gonna try and see where to get through. Hey, Melandras! Hi, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Oh! Counter tower now that Repard's got into the FLH himself. Take a look at the resources from Repard, though. He's got the tower coming up over here. Doesn't that forcing Sora Kuma back? And Sora Kuma's going for this tower over here, which is not good because it's still being targeted. Okay, he's going for one on the left-hand side, which is once again being targeted by the counter tower that Repard's going for. So this one is... Yeah, it's coming up, but it's coming up very slowly as he can only work from the left-hand side. And it's not really going to achieve much of anything. He knows about berries, but this tower doesn't really have enough range, even with fletching, to target villagers and berries, so Repard's gonna be fine. Blue player also has access to extra gold on the back. He's got 2 additional golds over there, so he doesn't need the 4 gold necessarily. Yeah, Sarakuma's gonna try and keep on pushing on the right-hand side. Well, repard, he's going for a market now. He didn't have a market before, so he wouldn't have been able to buy the stone. And now if he can get the market up, he should be able to keep on defending himself, assuming that Sarakuma tries to breach through a different section. Probably breach through over here, for instance, right? He could try and come in, maybe try and drop a tower around here, or well, not around there, probably maybe just around here or something, but with the market up, it's very likely that repard will get enough resources to get a counter tower up. And wait a moment though! How is Sarakuma tower hopping over here? I thought repard had gone for the palisades. He went for the foundations, but he never actually closed this. So Sarakuma actually managed to get a villager past the houses over here. Wow. Yeah, that is interesting for sure. PLH is coming up. A castle age, sorry, is coming up now for repard. Wow. By the way, guys, the 2 missing sets that they still had to schedule for this week for the round 16 have gotten scheduled for tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to have 4 sets, 4 best of 5 sets, starting, I believe, 16 GMT. Yeah, 16 GMT. 2 are going to take place at the same time. We'll cover 1 live, 1 with recorded games after the live one is over, and then 18 GMT. Actually, might not be able to do it right away, but 18 GMT, we have 2 additional sets. Yeah, I think we're not gonna be able to do it right away because, oh wait, oh okay, because it's best of 5 for these sets, so we're probably just going to do 1 live and then the rest using recorded games. Where should repard makes his castle? Well, repard gets the resources to get a castle up. I probably would prefer for the castle to be on the left hand side. There are a few choices, right? So he could go for the castle over here on the right, and that will allow him to get his gold back if he goes for the castle like over here and he targets the tower. The problem with this is that it doesn't really protect from the push on the left hand side. So Sarakuma, once he gets to the castle edge, he could add some siege, he could come through here, right, and he could try and take the TC down. However, if we saw him go for the castle on the left hand side, he would end up preventing Sarakuma from pushing from here, and he would end up also protecting some of the stone over here. But honestly, it's kind of similar because then it would be possible for Sarakuma to make a push from the north, so there isn't really an ideal position besides just going for the castle in front of the TC, but it would be too risky with the towers currently. Why it's so laggy? I'm not really sure. What do you mean? Laggy as in the stream stuttering, or I don't know. 9-second TC for repard. You know, he's got the stone. If he gets enough wood, should be able to go for another TC on the left hand side. I think he deletes the house next to the mining camp and puts it there, over here, this one. That'd be once again a good location. That'd be probably ideal because he will end up cleaning up everything and he will protect the front. But it'd be kind of risky given that we already have some towers up over here. So he would have to also take some of the farming space over here, perhaps. Well, I'm not really sure. I guess we are going to find out. He should have enough resource to go for a castle very soon. Right now, he's getting the 3rd TC up on the left-hand side. Reckon a little bit of extra idle TC time, but obviously, given the fact that he's on more than 1 TC, it's to be expected until he gets his economy up to snuff. So yeah, hopefully it's not quite as laggy right now. Let me take a look at the drop frames. Yeah, we haven't really dropped any frames yet. Capture seems to be running fine. I do stream at 30 FPS though. It's not going to be quite as smooth as 60. Not possible with current PC. Maybe next year. Oh boy, that'd be sick. Anyway, Castle is coming up for Sarakuma, and he'll finally be able to start adding some siege into the mix. Good defense. Protected mangonels as well. Yeah, it's all good. Fantastic. Origins coming in now for Sora Kuma. Yeah, he's doing a really good job. He does end up diverting about 5 villagers to keep the mangonels up though against the towers, but he'll ultimately end up taking the towers down. And you gotta keep in mind that Sora Kuma also spent a lot of time with these villagers going forward and getting the towers up in the first place. So it doesn't seem to me like these villagers are going to be necessarily a bad thing for repard. Sora Kuma gets to the castle age and he's got an lower villager count now while he was on his way up. Let's take a look at gather economy time. Looking a little bit better for Sora Kuma still. And repard? Well, repard's going to catch up very soon, of course. Hey, Flower Dancer, hi. Welcome back. Hope you're doing alright. Well played. Go Sora Kuma? Oh, okay. Yeah, well done. So repard's been able to successfully fend off Sora Kuma's push over here, now consisting of scouts and Shrivamsha riders. It's interesting to see that Sora Kuma's going for a second TC, given how much later he was to the castle age. You would be expecting him to try and put much more pressure and just perhaps even stick to one TC full pressure, right? Full military production, full push. This is going for a 4 siege workshop, which I like to see, but there's a man coming up over here, going right to the villagers, and he's trying to quick wall the villager in as well, but he cannot do it, and now he's coming in, and he's going to let the gate open, not quite. So the man goes down, but he keeps the gate closed, and at the very least is able to prevent these units from just diving in. But this is good for Sora Kuma now that he managed to get the siege workshop up over here. We see an armor elephant come out. Beautiful, here comes the elephant. Cheering for Sora Kuma as well. Do we have anybody rooting for repard? He goes for the castle on the right hand side, which is alright. I probably would have preferred it on the left hand side, but he didn't really have any defenses on the left, which is why I wanted him to go for it on the left hand side. At the very least on the right he does have the siege workshop, right, so he can keep on going for mangonels, but yeah, on the right hand side now, this is going to leave the left hand side open. In any case, we see some villagers going down already as Sora Kuma is finally getting away with some damage. And still, the villager count is so much higher for repard at this point, it's ridiculous. 15 extra villagers. Sora Kuma? Well, Sora Kuma is... He's got him spotted on the left hand side, so it's going to be under a little bit of pressure, but he does have Shrivamsha riders, while repard doesn't really have anything to... Yeah, to defend himself with over here, so Shrivamsha should be good. But it's going to be kind of tricky, because usually in this situation where you're on 1TC, or not really 1TC, I guess Sora Kuma technically on 2, but when you're trying to be aggressive, you want to put pressure, and you want to focus your pressure on a single side. You don't want to have to split your army up like that. So having Shrivamsha on the left hand side, then on the right hand side, or at the center over here, is simply going to make it harder for Sora Kuma to make any of the pushes. The preference, just enjoying the games, haven't been able to play for more than a month. I see, Melanchas. Well, that's good, right? Always good to be busy. Dumb question, do armor elephants get repaired by villagers? No, they get healed by monks. Since they are siege, yeah, they're healed by monks. We were talking about that the other day, and we were noticing how the elephants, the armor elephants, got healed by monks, couldn't get repaired by villagers, but bombard cannons did get repaired by villagers. But yeah, my answer, my rationale for that, if you're ever trying to put logic into Age of Empires, is the bombard cannon, like the guy is not the weapon, right? Whilst the elephant is the weapon. So yeah, there are no dumb questions. Yeah, and it's not a dumb question actually. I only, you know, it was brought to my attention like 2 days ago or something. The patch and Bengals are still pretty bad. They have had their place in this tournament though. Usually on... We saw them on Fortress a little bit, and there was another map, I don't remember which one, where we saw Bengalis be a top 5 civilization. Shivansha Riders are great against Genesis. Once they recharge, yes. Or once they charge up their agility. Yeah, they should be pretty good. You gotta be able that you know, you just gotta make sure that you're able to just dive in and delete all the units right away, otherwise you'll get wrecked. I've been enjoying seeing all the pros using more Shivansha Riders lately. Yeah, it's been good. I love to see the Shivansha Riders, the armor elephants. Can we see chat in game? You should be able to. If nothing's up here, it's because there shouldn't be any chat in game. Chat is enabled. Is chat available? It should be. Why are they chatting and it's not showing up here? Oh, there we go. You were asking for it. We see the Shivanshas coming in. The Janissaries instantly get garrisoned. Oh, right. Sorry. There you go. My bad. Yeah. It's my bad. Sorry. This is a really good push, and Sora Kuma is finally getting something done with this. He's already gotten past the siege workshop, and now he's going right after the castle. He's got 5 armor elephants. Unfortunately, he's not really been paying attention to the Shivansha Riders too much. I'm not really sure if he was paying attention on the left-hand side or back home, maybe going for economy. He does have 3 TCs now. Yeah, but he was not paying too much attention over here. If he was able to keep all the units up, all the Shivansha Riders up, he should have been able to take the villagers down over here and get the castle down faster as well. But now it's taking some time, and the elephants are still going to end up taking the castle, but it's taking a little bit longer than necessary, so to say. Nice pick. No conversions over there. Wow! And Repard's committing his entire goodwill, a big chunk of his economy, to keeping the castle up over here. He knows if this crumbles, how will he ever defend himself? The only problem with this though is that, first off, Sora Kuma's not targeting the castle, so he's gotta focus on taking the castle down, bring the elephants, right? And the problem for Repard is that this is a money pit. Take a look at how much stone he spent repairing over here. I would really love to see a stat on buildings that will tell you how many resources has been spent repairing that building specifically. Yeah, the villagers over here are unable to keep the castle up, so if these Shivansha Riders recharge, if Sora Kuma goes for a few more, might be able to get a good run going, and because of the castle being down over there, there are no more Janissaries coming out from the center area, only from the left-hand side, potentially. If Repard goes for it right now, it doesn't seem like he's going for much of anything. I guess one thing to keep in mind is the gold availability that is going to be better for Repard in the long run, but it's going to take a while for Sora Kuma to actually run out, as he's got extra gold on the right hand side of his base. He's got extra gold on the left hand side of his base as well. Right, so these extra ones, which Repard is taking advantage of already, won't really come to play. They are not really going to be that important until Sora Kuma eventually runs out of his own resources, which doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. And there's another castle coming up. Sora Kuma led the pressure, and he's come back to play for economy. Wow. Well, you know, the third TC he had down south, it's already gotten taken down, so now he's on 2 TCs only. I think his assessment is, I've already done enough damage, I'll go back, and I'll try and expand onto my lead. He's assumed that he already did enough damage forward, getting the villagers down. I mean, after all, he got 34 villager picks, right? That he feels confident making a play for economy over here. We'll see. You know, in the Imperial Age, Frontier Guards is not really going to do much for him against the Janissaries. And he doesn't know about the second castle, so maybe he's not really expecting to see much more in terms of Janissary production from repard, but this could potentially be very good for the bull player eventually. Yeah, this castle position is close to perfect. Is really good. He's not really targeting the left hand side tower, but it's like whatever. I think if he gets bulking arrow, he should be able to target this. Meanwhile, Sora Kuma, yeah, buddy, good luck with that. Come on, what is that? Get out of here. Yeah, those villagers were never going to remain over there for very long. Yeah, and repards really holding strong to the left hand side. What is this red that I see on the right though? It's the Shrivansha's Raven. Yeah, getting some villages down over here. And then a sneaky building over here on the right hand side. Sneaky buildings from Sora Kuma. He's going for stables. And on the right hand side there are no castles for repards, so he shouldn't be able to defend against this. Especially as we get more and more Shrivansha riders coming out from the right hand side once they charge their agility. They won't even be taking that much damage from the TC, of course. So they can be a very, very nice, you know, obviously Raiden unit. It's right there in their name. And now he's taking advantage of it. Yeah, let them Shrivansha's raid. Repard could make a switch to camels. He does have a few. I'm really sure actually how many stables he's onto though. I don't see any over here. And then on the left hand side, he's going for a forward castle. Okay, so he's got some stables on the left hand side over here too. And he's going for camels. He doesn't seem to be maximizing production though. Maybe he's not paying too much attention. Seems to be playing single queue, or as if it was single queue. So while Repard puts pressure on the left hand side, Sora Kuma increases pressure on the right hand side. He's got a siege workshop up now. Plus, he's got Shrivansha riders from the back and from the front, getting villages on the back over here around berries, which Repard's not realizing about, and he's not reacting at all. Now he is, but the Shrivanshas, they are completely wrecking Repard's economy on the right hand side. So many villages going down. It's not even close. Take a look at that Eco Kitty. 58 to 15. That is almost 4 to 1. For Sora Kuma, it's remarkable. He's done a really good job. Okay, now we have camels coming out from Repard on the right hand side, which is going to prevent him from taking too much extra damage from Sora Kuma. Yeah, murder holes for Sora Kuma, it's really interesting to see, given that right now he's got just towers to take advantage of it. I don't think he's got... Yeah, he doesn't really have a castle. He's only now been taking some stone, but he doesn't have anywhere near enough to go for a castle. And TC doesn't need it. I really love this castle location for Repard, by the way, because he's able to deny one of the extra goals that we were talking about earlier. So now you can see that Sora Kuma has effectively run out of gold. Yeah, on the right hand side he's got some over here, but he doesn't really have enough control to protect any of the economy on the back or the right of his base. And now there's another forward castle coming up for repard. Won't be able to go for it right away, of course. He's gonna have to relocate it, but yeah. You know what? I think he's getting away with it. Not with this castle, but I think he can relocate it further forward and actually go for it right next to the gold. Beyond the farms. I think he's cleaning this up. Isn't he? He's cleaning this up. He's got the Janissaries still. He's got the camels over here still. Actually, that would have been a somewhat risky castle. He's going for it on the back. With the amount of villagers, I think the castle would probably still have gone up if he had tried to go for it further forward. He would have been able to just brute force it. But this is still fine. And all of a sudden, the blue players get some great momentum while Sora Kuma's trying to go back to the gold on the right hand side after cleaning the units out from repard. But this is not good. It's not good that he's gotta go for this exposed one where repard's gonna be able to put more and more pressure by the minute and end up pushing the villagers away from here. Fantastic. Yeah, you see? That's the problem. Sora Kuma's reaction over here is not strong enough. Now he's gonna start going for some camels himself. Bonus damage from mounted units has gone down from plus 50% to just plus 40% if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look. Yes. Yeah. So, technically the camels from Sora Kuma should be stronger. Now he's making a switch to it. Oh, and he's been collecting the resources to go up to the Imperial Age already. Interesting. I guess it's kind of necessary. The problem for him is that he doesn't really have a castle. It's going to take so long for him to get enough out to get the castles down over here from repard once he gets to the Imperial Age. Yeah, so he's going up over here, but I'm not really sure this is the play. Repard's military is so much higher as well, so if he keeps putting pressure, he might be able to suppress Sora Kuma before Sora Kuma is able to get anything out in the Imperial Age. Plus, not having the castle prevents you from going for conscription. Nice raid though from the raiders. Yeah, that shouldn't have much of an impact on repard. I like it that he's going for the 4 gold over here, because if he eventually gets pushed away from here, repard is not going to have all the gold available to take still. It's only going to be a fraction. Whilst repard will be able to go back and keep on collecting from here. And the villager count from repard is not the best, especially considering that he's been on more TCs for the longest time. But he does have close to 35 minutes of idle TC time. Light cavalry coming out for Sora Kuma and Bosa. Heavy plow. There we go. Here comes repard. And this is the push that I was waiting for. His military count was much higher. He just needed to put it to use, and now he's got a ram coming in. He's gotta be careful not to bring the camels forward, as they'll take a lot of damage from the guard towers. Yeah, I couldn't really keep the ram out for too long, right? He's going after the towers right away. Well, he's utilizing the Janissaries as siege over here, which I don't really know if I agree with. But he is putting some pressure. certainly forcing a reaction for Sarkuma, who is going now for chemistry as well. And well, once they get to bombard cannons, they should be able to start gaining some ground back, because there is nothing a repard will be getting access to in the castle age that's going to put a stop to that. So on the left hand side, this castle should crumble very soon. This castle on the right hand side should crumble very soon as well, assuming that Sarkuma is able to get enough bombard cannons out and ideally have a strong enough meat shield to protect it with. Yeah, the militia. Oh, it's gone down. Rip. Yeah. The poor relic wasn't really taken care of properly. Repard's military is still higher than Sarakuma, but it's proportionally speaking not quite as high as it was before. This has been a really good game, by the way, to start the series with. I'm hoping that all the games are going to be this good. Satch back and forth. A lot of extra Janissaries coming up from Repard as well. He's got 4 castles to work with right now. The one on the back, the one on the right hand side, and both on the left hand side. So he should be able to get to a good amount of Janissaries. Once again, Sarakuma's bombard cannons might be a little bit of an issue once he gets a hold of these though. He's going for 2 now. And paired with that goal, it's really dangerous for him. Yeah, it was, I guess, kind of a necessary evil though. This is the only goal that he's got access to, right? So if he's unable to clean out the castles and gain access to extra golds, and to be honest, there isn't too much on the right hand side over here. Or on the left hand side, push the castle down over there and get access to this one. If he doesn't secure any of the extra golds, he can keep on going. So I understand the need for Imperialists so that he can take the castles down. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle right now. It seems like he's gonna go for the left hand side. He's got the siege workshops on the back and he's got the camels here. And at the same time though, Repard's putting pressure from behind as well. Somewhat nice defense from Sarakuma. A lot of villagers go down over there. The tower doesn't end up crumbling anyway. And there's not too much gold left over here for him to work with. He brought all the gold miners to try and get the rams down. Couldn't do it, so now he's gonna have to bring the Srivansha Riders and the camels. But that means that he doesn't really have any pressure going on the left hand side anymore. So will he bring the bombard cannons over the right hand side and try to take this castle down? I don't see... Oh, okay, there we go. He's got 1 bombard cannon going there. Just 1 though. So much for 1 tower. Yeah. It's a critical place, like tactically speaking. Critical location over there for Sarakuma to hold on to for his gold income and for Repard to push him out of. Because Sarakuma's gold income. Alright. Here come the bombard cannons. He's got 2 already. He's going after the Janissaries. Freaking strong Janissaries, man. Taking a cannonball on their head and still holding on just fine. Hey, Cold White. Alright. Finally, some pressure. He's being respectful of the Janissaries. Yeah, and 0 on gold. Sarakuma was eventually going to run out, and he has. He was collecting from very low yield gold mines with like 14 villages or so, I think. I do like it that he's trying to take advantage of the hill over here so that he can get the castle down faster. Once he gets the castle down over here, he'll be getting access to this one once again. Unfortunately, without any fortifications though, Sarakuma is not really going to secure that. He's going to get access to it, but he's not going to be able to secure it. It's been already a pretty long game. There we go. And he's getting access to the gold immediately, sends everyone. Go, go, go. They are going to the goal already. And then on the right hand side, we have light cavalry coming out. From Sora Kuma is going to try and get the raids going once again. Interestingly enough, he's been able to keep up with population pretty well. 169. He's only 17 population behind. And overall military is going to be less than that, of course. Just a few villagers that he's kind of missing. On top of military. Yeah, Blue Castle forever though. He's going up to the Imperial Age now, finally. But Sora Kuma is gonna take a while to push repard back. This is a critical moment in the game because with the bombard cannons over here, the castles will start dropping until repard's able to go for something himself to defend against the BBC. Which means that in the next 5 minutes, if repard is unable to defend right away as soon as he gets to the Imperial Age, Sora Kuma should be able to pretty uncontestedly take all the defenses down from repard. Take the fortifications, the castle down, take the TCs. Heavy camels coming up right now, chain bar than armor. Beautiful. Now the TC is going down, and this is what I wanted to see. Bombard cannons as soon as he got to the Imperial Age in full pressure. There isn't too much gold over here left, unfortunately, for him. About 200 worth or so. And then on the left-hand side, I don't think this one is going to have too much left, right? 1800 is decent, but it's going to last in like 5 minutes or so. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, yeah, we have a little bit of extra gold over here. Still about 900 though, so it's not too much. But yeah, once again, I do like the fact that repard's been trying to take advantage of the further forward gold so that he can always fall back to his starting golds, right? Like, the fact that he still has gold over here in the back is remarkable because he might get pushed from the sides and he'll still be able to keep on going for gold units. And going for gold units he is. He's got bombard cannons already. As he gets chemistry for free with Turks in the Imperial Age, he can go for BBC right away. And he's got it. He's taking the towers down over here. We have Cat Ram as well for repard. And he's coming in pretty heavily. Sora Kuma and repard both got to 200 population over there for a little bit. And Sora Kuma is going to start dropping a lot of villagers. Repard for the first time in a while is getting the villager V+. Sora Kuma, well, he was forced into bringing his army back. So he's not pushing on the left-hand side anymore. Yes, you can always see the map name underneath the mini-map over here, underneath the question mark. This one is called Wallhalla Bypass, or just Bypass. This is the Wallhalla version, which I'm pretty sure has got some tweaks, but you can also find it as just Hideout. Beautiful raids on the right-hand side as well. Both players on a race to the bottom. Are dropping a lot of population, Sora Kuma. Yeah, he's going back on the left-hand side. He's gonna try to keep on putting pressure from here, I imagine. Well, he's getting the castles down over there. There isn't really too much for him to do on the left-hand side. Probably would prefer for him to try and either push on the right-hand side or through the center, perhaps. Let me take a look at what Sora Kuma's vision is to see what he's aware of. He knows about most things. He knows about the castle over here, the TC on the right-hand side. He's got vision on this castle as well. Yeah, definitely would like for him to try and put the pressure on the right-hand side now that he's got sneaky units from behind, right? If he was actually able to get a castle down over there, there wouldn't really be too much protection for the villagers beyond just the camels. And the raids would be a lot more effective, but he's actually still getting a lot of kills over here with the light cavalry. He's getting a bunch of villagers down, and repard doesn't seem to be reacting over here on time. There we go. It's almost like hideout with a connection through the center. It's basically what bypass is, and then you have some extra resources on the left hand side and some extra resources on the right hand side. You're going to find huntables over there, berry bushes, golds. Where's Repard's gold? He doesn't have any anymore. I'm pretty sure when you were asking, he probably still had some gold miners. He had some on the back over here, some left of his OG golds. And then I don't think he's got anything else, right? Because he was taking from the sides. Like, he's got some over here, but it's just not been going for it at all. He's gone down to 0 gold miners. Meanwhile, Sora Kuma, on the other hand, is... yeah, he's just dooming. 4 bombard cannons too. Oh, and he pushed through the center, got the castle down. Well played. Well played. Yeah, and Turks with that gold is not really a civilization you want to play. They do get 1 extra armor on cavalry units, right? Cavalry line units, scout line units, but it's not going to suffice. Especially against Sora Kuma, who's going to have extra bonus damage with his camels too. How many relics on the map? This one I think it's pretty standard. I think it's 5. So we have 1 per player, and then we have 1, 2, right? This one, and the 5th one is over here on the left hand side. Is hideout smaller? Is this much? Have much more wood? I don't think so. I think hideout is... the layout is a little bit different. Usually on hideout you're going to have a big wood on one side and a smaller wood on the other side. But I think it should be somewhat comparable. We can actually take a look at that if you want. We can see how many trees. I don't think you can select everything though. Yeah, you actually cannot select everything, so I don't think we'll be able to. Oh no, the center trees are the same type. Yeah, I guess we can try. If you want. Oh, wait a moment. No, this is not selected the dead ones, right? Okay, never mind. We cannot try to just double click on the wood and see how much there is on each map. Never mind. That'll be something for the dashboard to do, perhaps. Finally, getting to the right hand side. Sora Kuma's gonna get the castle down over there, and I can't believe it, but 1 hour and 11 minutes into the game, Sora Kuma is getting some great momentum over here, and after being under so much pressure for so long, seems like he's taking the game back. And right now, this is certainly looking like Sora Kuma's game to lose. So, yeah, Repard's in big trouble. He's got some gold miners, but not too many, and it seems like he's going to end up getting pushed away from here very soon as well. Which means Sora Kuma will be able to sustain gold income for a little bit long. Not too much, of course, it's only about 700 gold left, but it'll certainly help Sora Kuma keep on going for a few more units and potentially just seal the deal. Although it seems like he's already making a switch to Hazard, so maybe we won't see too many gold units coming up anymore. Ideally, he will want to collect the relics eventually, though. He knows about this one on the left-hand side. I don't know that he knew about the one on the right-hand side, and I don't see it anymore. Where is it? Yeah, I'm not really sure. Repard needs to pick out those 2 relics to get a chance. Yeah, he's got it, and at the very least he's been thinking of it. He does have the monastery on the left, and he's going for the first one. Oh, and it seems like the one over here on the left hand side is being picked by Sora Kuma, so the players are already making a play for the relics. This is going to result in a 3-to-2 relic distribution. It should favor Repard. I am very sure. There was a relic on the right hand side. Oh, okay, there we go. He picked it up, but he never brought it back. Once he gets this one, plus the one that he's gotten on the left hand side, that's going to bring him up 3 relics. Which will help a little bit. It's technically going to be 50% stronger gold income compared to Sora Kuma once both players are relying on relic gold only. But that's only after he realizes about the monk over here. we go. Well, be his composition though. Hazard plus Janissaries. He kinda go. He's got one castle, so I guess he could go for Janissaries, but it's. There isn't really too much that repard can do without access to gold. I mean, even if he's got 3 relics, assuming that he does eventually end up garrisoning the 3rd one, there's not going to be enough for him to get too many Janissaries out. Although if he takes good care of his army and manages to get to 20 plus Janissaries, maybe that's going to be an untouchable bottle of gunpowder. But then Sora Kuma could also try and mass some Srivansha Riders. Yes, the problem is the Spearman, right? Because if repard goes for Janissaries and Hazard, both those units will get countered by an army of camels and Srivansha Riders. And the Srivansha, honestly, the Srivansha Rider alone are going to be so strong. So he needs Spearman, but then Turks do not get Pikemen, do not get Halberdier. So unless he can go for actual gold units, aka camels, in this situation, it's just not going to be enough because Sora Kuma can just keep on going forward with the Tsar. And repard's going to be playing reactively. Red lost some bombard cannons, not all of them. He's got still 4 at the center, and he's coming in. Yeah, no gold for Sora Kuma as well. So both players can go for Janissaries and Srivansha Riders respectively. Just going to be a very slow production. Repard's got some gold miners, but this gotta be on the right hand side. Yeah, and this is going to run out very quickly. He's already gotten down to 200. And then this was looking like it was going to go in favor of Sora Kuma, and now Repard's on the lead with 200 population, coming back and going for Iron Casting even. So it's really interesting to see both players over here still fiercely fighting over game number 1. Cheering for the Taiwanese. Let's go, Kuma. Yeah. For game number 2, we'll enable predictions as well, so you'll be able to utilize your channel points to predict who you think is going to win game number 2. Didn't do it for game number 1. The stream was just starting, and I don't think we had a lot of people. Yeah, it's gonna be 200 pop for both. Very similar economy for food, by the way. 67 right now, actually 68 farmers for Sora Kuma versus 51 for Repard. However, Sora Kuma's got a lot of lumberjacks as well, and Repard doesn't, so he's got to have a bunch of idle villagers somewhere. Repard's favorite to win? Yeah, you can always hope for the underdog to do well, right? There we go, here come the Hazard. And Repard doesn't really have any defensive units. He's just sent everything forward, so back healing that, taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Repard, he does have a lot of spearmen over here, but Sora Kuma's got defensive units already to play with. It's got skirmishers coming out, which is so good. Skirmishers will counter both spear and Janissaries. So this is going to be super rough for Repard to push through. It seems like he was able to clean up the units on the back though. In this situation, if Repard lost villagers and he was able to replenish that empty population with military, that would have been good. But his economy right now doesn't really allow him to sustain a 100 plus military production if he's going for military constantly, if they are trading units constantly. So Repard definitely doesn't want to drop on the 200 population too much. You take a look at that. He's got 9 Hazard queued up. He's got 7 Spearmen queued up. He's got less than 1,000 food. Sora Kuma on the other hand's got 7 Hazard queued up. He's got 10, 11 skirmishers queued up. He's got less than 1,000 food himself, but he's got more food workers. Plus, Sora Kuma is the only player who's going to have access to crop rotation. So Kuma should sell some wood, maybe add some farms. think the farm count is alright. Repard? Yeah, repard unfortunately. It's not quite as high. But still manages to keep some momentum over here on the back of Circum's base. What an epic game to begin the series with. Already 1 hour and 24 minutes! Damn, boy! This was supposed to start... This actually started... Was it an hour and 11 minutes ago, right? Technically, the start time was 15 GMT. And yeah, I don't see this game ending anytime soon, you know. Circum's got a lot of extra Hazard coming up, skirmishers. And Repard still got some momentum over here. Still on 200 population, a larger military count technically. And camels over here are doing really good damage from Sarakuma. Otherwise, if it's just going to be Hazard and Hazard, the fact Sarakuma is lacking Blast Furnace because of the civilization not getting access to it means that Repard's Hazard are significantly stronger compared to Sarakuma's. Right, he's got extra attack, 2 extra attack, and then he's got extra armor. 1 extra pierce armor because of the Turk bonus. Beautiful push. Once again, the camels are coming out though, and he's gotta be careful with the spearmen over there. But he's got the skirmishes already at hand. So with good unit control, technically, Sarkuma should be able to take much more cost-effective trades. Then on the right-hand side, he's got his own raid going once again, and he's starting to drop in population quite a bit. But actually, it's not strong enough. And Sarakuma's not going for spearman. It's not like he's going to have the strongest spearman himself. So yeah, it's gotta be camels here. This might be the one matchup where Turk's spear are actually going to give somewhat of a lead for one player. But he does end up losing everything over here. Markers do go down though, yes. But Sarakuma does end up pushing Repard away, and Repard is coming in with some siege right now. The ram over there. Let's see if Sarakuma's gonna be able to take the engagement over here. It's gotta be careful. It's got the walls on the left-hand side. And interestingly enough, if this game keeps on going like this, if it's just going to be a stronghold forever, then the players are very soon going to... Or at the very least, Sarakuma is very soon going to start having a wood situation over here. I mean, I guess he still has access to this wood safely, right? But Repard realizes about this and eventually ends up going for a tower on the right-hand side, tower on the left-hand side. When the villagers cannot keep on collecting wood from here, they will only be confined to this wood, and this could become a big issue for Sarakuma, actually. So it's very important for him to break out as well. Nice push from Repard. And he's actually getting the camels down over here. The spearmen are doing work. Oh, wait a moment though. How did Sarakuma get 3 relics? I think he stole the... Wow. Yeah. Wow. What is this unfinished castle from Repard? What? Interesting. Yeah, I think actually Sarakuma was able to steal the relic from the left-hand side. Unbelievable. It seems Repard is actually going to end up making it. Sarakuma's going for his own spearman now. He's forced into it. But yeah, once again, Gujaras are probably the one civilization that are actually going to have a war spearman compared to Turks. And 7,000 wood, certainly not the best situation. He could use the market and try to get some gold, potentially get the push going back once again on the left hand side. He's gonna try and go after the stables once again, but this is already walled from repard. He's trying to be sneaky. It's gonna be pretty difficult. I don't think he'll be able to get away with actually. Does Kuma even have a market? Well, it shouldn't be hard to build one, right? If he didn't. No, he doesn't have a market. Wow, repard's push over here. Damn! He's making it work! He's making it work! So Kuma looks so much stronger at times in the game, and it's just been such a back and forth, but it seems like we are getting closer and closer to the game being over, as Kuma's got a lot of units queued up, but does not have a fast enough production to stay at 200 population, while Repard on the other hand, he does. He's gone for extra farms now, Repard that is, and he was falling behind in that department before, so now he's able to not only catch up, but also he's been able to get ahead. And this is working really well. The one problem for him though was the lack of siege, but now he's working towards that. He's got a bombard cannon over here. We'll see if Kuma can focus the cannon down. Yeah, there we go. Cannons over here is visible already, so Kuma should know about it. And by the way, on the left hand side, we had one armor elephant from Kuma trying to breach through, and he was able to get past the first layer of walls, but then we already have a second layer of walls coming up over there. So here comes Kuma. He's going after the cannon right away. He's gonna get targeted by the monk. He's going to end up getting the monk over here. He's going to end up getting converted. He's going after the monk, and he gets the monk down right away. Meanwhile, the bombard cannon over here, it seems like it's going to go down as well. Will it? It won't! It won't! Dude, the lack of blast furnace over here is hurting Kuma so much. Yeah, Gujarats have worse spearmen compared to Turks. Go figure, right? Yeah, and the GG's coming up over here. Wow, what a game to start the series with a bang. Let's go through the achievements over here before hopping out. KD, I guess it doesn't really matter too much because both players were going for trash units for the most part towards the end of the game, and I imagine those units accounted for over 50% of the KD over here, so it wasn't really too bad for anyone, really. It was very close for both. For economy, we do have a little bit of a stronger economy in the end with about 4,000 resources collected for Kuma, but he wasn't able to make that work in his favor, unfortunately. The technology tab over here is not going to reveal too much. Both players got to the Imperialist such a long time ago. It doesn't seem like it because it took a while for Repard to get to the Imperial Age, but it's remarkable to see that it actually was a very small difference in uptime for both players when you take into account the entire game. And especially how long the game went for after both players were in the Imperial Age, right? What is that? That's 35 minutes! Or close to it, since Repard got to the Imperial Age and the game ended over here. Wow. Well played. Well played. Such a back and forth. Absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, the timeline over here should tell you everything. Beautiful. Perfect. Let's go for it, guys. And welcome everyone to game number 2 in the set. Repard up 1, Kuma down 0. Civilizations, once again, we have Teutons for Repard versus Portuguese for Kuma. And the map is Kuma's home map, Vintage Arena, one of his home maps. And yeah, For these civilizations, let's talk about them a little bit. We are going to have two strong arena civilizations. However, Teutons are usually going to be favored much more so by expert clowns on arena maps. Taking a look at the bonuses and starting with Sora Kuma, playing with Portuguese over here means that he's going to have a 20% gold discount on military units, as well as 30% faster research and upgrades. On top of that, we do have some bonuses for water for Portuguese, which are not really relevant over here. So yeah, for the most part, it's going to be the discount on military units, you know, and on top of that, potentially, what do we get for them? Yeah, team 1 is not going to be useful over here with shared vision. Yeah, that's basically it. And potentially access to Fateria in the Imperial Age and organ gun production. Meanwhile, up in the north, for repard playing with Teutons on the other hand, the Bluebear is going to have a myriad of bonuses, starting with cheaper farms. They get on top of that the ability to garrison extra village inside towers and DCs, which can shoot extra arrows. We also get murder holes for free, herbal medicines for free for Teutons, as well as a few other bonuses such as +1 and +2 melee armor on stable and barracks in the castle and Imperial Ages, which makes them so strong, right? And yeah, we even get for the team bonus conversion resistance, so everything's pretty darn strong for Teutons. Their economy is very good. Their army is going to be bunkers as well. But of course, there is a chance of Sora Kuma to do some damage over here if he does end up going for a fast, either a fast castle drop into Janissary push, or a fast imp Feitoria play, which we have seen both of with Portuguese. Usually you don't want to see Portuguese make a play for standard economy and just try to play for the late game, because they're going to fall quite a bit, especially against Teutons. So Repard's got a great civilization over here to try and turtle up, and Sora Kuma's got a respectable civilization to try and get the push going and force, you know, Repard to play defensive. Hey, Ivanor? Is that Ivanor or is that Ivan Ortega? Oh, Ivan Ortega. And I was trying to pronounce it in English somehow. Welcome, Ivan. Ivan, for everyone else, I guess. Does it feel weird when I say Ivan? When I call you Ivan? Feels like I'm Americanizing your name. Anyway, Felix coming up for reparo already. He's going up on 23 population, so it's just going to be a standard fast castle into economy for him. If we take a look at Sora Kuma, it's going up on 24 population, so it's going to be a fast castle organ gun push. No problem? Alright, alright. Teutons! Teutons! Kind of reminds me of the Toy Story dinosaur. I'm not really sure if any of you ever played Toy Story 2 on PlayStation 1. But the dinosaur was quite funny. Regardless, barracks on the way for Sora Kuma. This is interesting to see. So it seems like he's gonna try and make a play for... Wait a moment. He's gonna try to go for a stable and a blacksmith, and then go for a few scouts, get map control, and then play for the relics. I'm not really sure if he'll be able to get away with doing that, playing for relics and going for the castle at the same time. I guess if he just goes for one extra scout, perhaps, and he just secures the map, right? Tries to prevent Repard from going for the relics. Then he could go forward with the castle and then go for the monastery afterwards and try to collect the relics a little bit later. I guess that's something. We'll see. His gallery right now doesn't seem like it's going to require a market for him to go up to the castle age. So yeah, going for a stable over here might just be enough. There we go. Beautiful. Castle H is on the way for both players now. And Sora Kuma. Okay, so he went for the market and the blacksmith. I guess this is just going to be for spearmen then. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, I don't know about that. It seems to me like Repard's probably getting away with the relic collection. It's very important for Sora Kuma to just try and get map control if he wants to make a play for relics in the end, because Repard's conversion resistance means that if it's already hard to convert scout line units with monks, it's going to be near impossible for Teutons to get converted. So Sora Kuma wouldn't be able to just go for monks and hope for the best, right? Even if he had a good amount of units. Let me take a look at the predictions over here. Wow! That's a lot of points for Repard, not a lot of points for Sora Kuma. Interesting. So who we are rooting for and who we're putting our money on seem to be different players. But to be fair, you can predict a different player to win compared to the player you're actually rooting for, so it's... yeah, it makes sense. Anyway, here comes the castle from Sora Kuma. He could go for the castle in between the gold and the stone over there. That would be a fantastic location as well, but he's going for the castle on the left-hand side, actually close to the edge. Close to the corner, rather, of the map. Close to the corner of the fortress from Repard the walls, right? So here he comes, and Repard already was expecting this. He already knows about it. And you know what? Teutons are an amazing civilization to make a monk play, as they get all the monastery upgrades. In the past, it used to be the case that they didn't have herbal medicines, but I don't think if it was exactly when DE came out. I think it was with the release of DE. Not only they added herbal medicines to Teutons, but they gave them to them for free. So now Teutons get all the upgrades, and that means you can go for redemption. Once you get to the Imperial Age, you can go for obviously block printing, illumination, theocracy, all the goodies. Sadly, I lost prediction time with a lot of bones, Sora Kuma. Oh, rip. Yeah, I don't think I can reopen it. No. I can just delete it or select outcome. Regardless though. It will be G3, it's not a problem. Oh yeah, for sure. No matter what, we are guaranteed a 3-game series at least. Guys, the next set is meant to start in about 28 minutes. So if this one goes in favor of Repard and game 3 is fairly quick, then... and it goes in favor of Repard, of course, then we might be able to jump into the next one live. Otherwise, we're gonna have to jump into the next one and play probably game number 1 using the record game, and then try to catch up for game number 2 or game number 3. We'll see. Redemption just came in for Repard, so now Sora Kuma's organ play over here is a little bit harder to pull off. The monk already gets 2 extra range compared to the organ gun, so it's very difficult for Sora Kuma's push over here to actually work out anymore. This puts him in an awkward position. It seems like he's gonna try and make a play for the Imperial Age, which I guess would be alright. But it puts him in a difficult position because he spent so many resources. He's just gone all in for this castle push, right? He's kind of clung onto 1 TC only. But not being able to push over here because of the monk defense from Repard means that he needs to go out to the Imperial Age. Once he gets to the Imperial Age, he can start going for trebuchets, bombard cannons potentially, and that's what's going to allow him to get the monasteries down, to keep on pushing over here. Could potentially even go for some cavalry units to counter the monks. A repard wins, so G3 will be hideout. Not a really fast one. Let me take a look at the civs. Well, Sarkuma's got poles, so you could potentially utilize those on hideout, which we have seen be the case very often. And I'm really sure. I guess if he tries to go for a feudal push and it doesn't work, it could be quick if he just were to call it GG, but given that it would be the last chance for Sarakuma, he would probably want to try a little bit harder. So yeah. Hey Johnny! Welcome. Nice conversion over there. He almost connects the second one. It's going well. Thank you so much for asking. I hope it's going well for you too. Alright, an Imperial H is on the way for Sarakuma. The problem with this approach, which unfortunately is the only thing that he can reasonably go for at this point. But the problem with this approach is that Sarakuma is falling behind so much in population and even military count is looking much stronger for Reparo, right? Even if he's got for the most part just monks. But he's falling far behind, so even if he gets to the Imperial Age, Repart's economy is going to be so much stronger. He should be able to click up to the Imperial Age sometime soon himself. And he'll still be behind. He'll still be ahead, sorry, in economy, Repar that is, by quite a bit. He's got almost enough resources to go for a castle, so yeah, it's very important for Sarakuma as soon as he gets to the Imperial Age to start going for some long range siege. So that once Repar gets the castle up, or once he tries going for it in front of his base, for instance, it gets taken down before it becomes an issue. It's going to be very important for Sarakuma. If he just lets Repar get the castle up, and then get to the Imperial Age, and get his own trebuchets to bombard cannons out, obviously, he'll be in a world of trouble, given that he doesn't really have the economy to contest for production. Hi Nova, I've been watching your channel for a while, but always offline. I need to tell you that your stream is already one of the best in area 2. Congrats, thank you so much. Le Matador, it's very much appreciated. Always offline, so you've been using the VOD page. It's good to know somebody's using it. You know, there was a time a couple months ago where actually a lot of people would use it. But then during Terra Nova Duos and the RMS Cup 2, I fell behind by a lot, like by 2 months or so. And I didn't highlight any of the VODs because it was just so much work. Those tournaments were so much work. But in the end, I was able to get it back up to date. So now it's completely updated. If you go to the VOD section, you're going to find individual VODs for all the series that I covered in the past, from tournaments or even show matches. So you can go back and you're already going to find a new playlist for the RMS series with the first show match that we cast 2 days ago. Wait, 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago, right? Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, I like it. So, Repart's going for the castle on the back. And this makes sense because if you wanted to go for it forward, now that Sarakuma is already in the Imperial Age, that would be borderline suicidal, so it's going for it on the back and it's going to remain a secret for a little bit. However, Sarakuma, despite not knowing about the castle, he's already going for the second trebuchet though, and this is really good because it'll allow him to take the buildings down twice as fast. And by having 2 trebuchets, if he ever spots a fortification from Repar, namely a castle over here, he should be able to go forward and take it down right away or very quickly. By the way, guys, the top series and the top games from the stream are now also going up on YouTube. So if you're not subbed to my YouTube page and you don't like the VOD page on Twitch, you don't like the VOD experience on Twitch, or you're only interested in the top series and the top games individually and you don't care about the rest, you can watch on YouTube. Of course, I'll be uploading highlighted series and games over there. And eventually, very soon, this month for sure, I'm going to have custom videos coming up on YouTube. At the very least one this month that I've been meaning to make for quite a bit. Now that I'm actually catching up with the VOD situation, I'll be able to go for custom videos. There we go, the Faterias are coming in now for Sora Kuma as well. Yes, he's got the second one. It's kind of necessary. Yes, Faterias. It's kind of necessary for Sora Kuma. He's far behind right now. So going for Faterias allows him to catch up a little bit. Meanwhile, Repard's come to the Imperial Lich, and first thing there, he goes for Block Printing, which is going to give the monks extra range. He's got Theocracy coming in right now as well, so he can utilize monk groups with the fate of a single monk, and that makes reutilizing the group after a successful conversion a breeze. Meanwhile, we'll see Bracer coming out for Sora Kuma, and he ends up getting pushed away. Man, he's got the trebuchets. The trebuchets cannot get converted easily, so he could still make a play for the castle over there, but Repard's already managed to get 3 trebuchets out. Sora Kuma, well, still kind of struggling over here. This is a big problem. Sora Kuma needs to be pushing right now. If he's not the one putting pressure, he's the one falling behind. He knows that he's behind in economy. He should know that. And even though he's ahead in score, that is not going to be the case for much longer if he's still this passive. The problem is he doesn't really have anything to counter the monks with. So he's going for cavalry archers. He's been going for a few. And he's got like cavalry. He's got scaled bar and armor on the way. Let's check. Here come the light cavalry, and here come the conversions. I think that conversions are going to be successful, though. We see the cavalry archers get converted over there right away. We're gonna see some of the light cavalry over here get targeted. He's not really targeting the units properly, though, but he will still end up getting most of the cavalry archers and still retaining most of the monks over here. So the castle is crumbling from Sora Kuma. Ends up getting pushed away. All 4 trebuchets get pushed away over there, and Sora Kuma's monk count over here is still... Repard's monk count over here is still pretty strong, so he should be able to go and start converting some of the cavalry archers over here easily. Which means Sora Kuma cannot keep on pushing anymore over here, and he's going to start falling behind. And this is the problem. If he was unable to make the push work over here, if he wasn't able to suppress Repard before Repard got to this stage where he's able to easily defend, now Repard will be able to utilize his economy advantage to outproduce Sora Kuma, and it's just going to be downhill from here on for the rep player. He ended up collecting all the relics over here, but these are going to get stolen. Or reclaimed. These are going to be reclaimed by Repard's institution. By the order of the Teutonic Knights! Yeah. Your relics should now become my relics. Yeah, he's going for them. Done. Yeah, that castle I don't think is going to stay out for too long. It's really unfortunate. Sora Kuma keeps on going, but the game's kind of over at this stage. The writing is certainly on the wall. Spelling bad news for Sora Kuma. Oh, heresy. Nice. Okay. Well, that's certainly going to help. For sure, so we see a bunch of these monks going down. Yeah, that helps, for sure. So now at the very least the units are not getting converted over. I'm not really sure what Repard's doing here, though. Do you think it's worth to get Fate for Sora since Repard is going monks? Well, he's already gone for heresy, so that prevents Repard from being able to convert. Fate would make it a little bit harder for Repard to kill units with the monks, so I guess he could go for it, but You know, at this stage, I don't really think there is too much that Kuma can do, honestly. And I hate to be kind of a pessimistic guy for Kuma currently, but I think even with Fate and Heresy, he would be in a big struggle. In a pretty awkward position, right? He can go for it. If he went for Heresy, if he saves enough resource, he could go for it. But the difference is that before, when he went for Heresy, he already had gotten to a decent amount of cavalry archers. And he was saving the resources, he was able to go for it. Meanwhile, right now, Kuma's military is going to consist of only 6 cavalry archers, so he's got to focus his economy on getting his numbers up before, so he does not get killed, right? Does not get destroyed right away, and then maybe he can save the resource to go for extra upgrades. But yeah, at this stage, I imagine if you've already managed to get Heresy, that should be enough. Because they're probably gonna still try to get the monks down with their scouts. He has more pop. yeah, so Kuma's gonna be popped out so much earlier compared to Repard. He's gotta be in a fantastic spot. He's got 4 Faterias, I think. Oh, he's just gotten the 5th one up. Yeah, so now he's gonna get 200 population. Skin war incoming. Yeah. Chemistry. It's coming out for both players. Of course, when both players make a switch to skirmishers, Repard can easily make a play for cavalry. And the extra melee armor is not really going to affect them. But, you know, Kuma hasn't really taken the time to go for something like pikeman or halberdier. So yeah, a cavalry play over here with both players going for skirmishes will actually be really good for Repard. He's just kind of going for his ultimate composition though, so he might get halberdier coming out over here. Well, not really halberdier against Portuguese, because Portuguese are unlikely to go for cavalry. They do not have very strong cavalry. So just skirmishers, hand cannoneer, and bombard cannons. Late game composition over here for Repard, even getting ballistics and Kuma. I wouldn't be able to say the same thing about him. He's been going for skirmishers because he knows about the hand cannoneer, but I don't think this is what he was kind of expecting to go for. In a late game situation, I think this is something he's going for because he feels like he needs to. But it's not ideal. Skirmishers get taken down in that castle. Should be going down very soon. Nice snipe over here as well from Repard. Doesn't that getting the bombard cannon down? So there we go. It should be over. Yeah. And scouts over here would be good for Kuma. Then Repard, once again, he's going to have his own options, right? So he's got Titanic Knights coming out right now, and then he could potentially make a play for cavalry, for halberdier, or whatever. And Kuma just seems to be screwed. He's losing the castle over here. He's gonna be left on only 1 TC to protect basically his entire economy, consisting at the very least of a nice 69 villagers. But yeah, we're gonna see very soon the Fateria start dropping over here. The TC go down. This gate is not going to hold for very long, so whatever Kuma wants to go for over here is gonna need to go for right now. And it seems like he's finally making a play for cavalry, so he's going for chain bar and armor. And he's got, for the most part, he's gotten the light cavalry upgrade already, so this is probably as good as the cavalry are going to get in terms of upgrades. I don't think he'll go for play bar and armor. He could go for it if he utilized the market to balance his economy, but he's not going for it. He's going for forging instead. Yeah, I'll probably prefer the extra armor. Okay, there we go, yeah. He's using the market to balance his economy. He's going for armor right now. Kind of feeling bad for anybody who bet on Sora Kuma for this game. We'll see if game number 3 goes a little bit better for the red player. There we go. We finally see the cavalry play that I've been talking about for repard. Yeah, you can go for it. You can afford it. It's gotten to 120 villagers, actually. Not even pot villagers. So he can go for anything he wants. Honestly, Scout Cavalry obviously is not going to be the best unit for him against Portuguese. It's not going to be quite as strong as the Light Cavalry over here, but he can make a play for the Nightline units and go for Cavalier. Eventually he needs to get the armor upgrades as well, but he can do it. Hey, you know, this is very decent cavalry production overall for Sora Kuma. He's getting to a good amount of units. The problem is, it's coming in too little too late. By the time he gets to a decent amount of light cavalry over here, we're already going to have Cavalier for repart probably. Yeah, I want to see for defense against 4 freaking cherishes. Where are the cherishes, by the way? He's got 3 forward, and then there's one over here. What is the other one? Did he lose one of the traps? I think he might have lost one of the traps, but still. With 3, that should be plenty, right? Like even 2, honestly. He loses 1, still the Feitoria goes down, the first one, and he should be going after the TC. Next. But we pop capped is fine. Not anymore! We are not. Mate's turn is great again. He's going to. Scale about an hour coming up, and so it begins the process. Of improving these units. You know, both of these are Titanic Knight units. You have your Food Titanic Knight, and you have your Mounted Titanic Knight. Or would you call these Tutor Knights only, as opposed to Titanic? I'm not really sure how that works. Anyway, the TC is finally going down. Slowly but surely, and then there's nothing to protect the economy from Sora Kuma anymore. So start getting raided over here, and to be fair, this economy is not too strong. It's got only 50 villagers. But yeah, this is just the beginning of the end. Here we are. Beautiful. Where are the skirmishers from repart? He's bringing them forward. If you want to get match command, yeah, there we go. The Geronimo's command should work. Now, I think there was some spec delay. So if you're utilizing the hashtag match command and it's not bringing any results, it's probably because the game is not on right now. So it might be over and we are just waiting for the spec delay to run out. Which I wouldn't be surprised about. Usually you want to use the match command at the very beginning of the game or halfway through. Right now. It seems like it might be over. Thank you, Hidden One official. Unfortunately, it seems like Sora Kuma got timed out from the ladder, so you're gonna actually have to use the hashtag match command. We can use it once we jump into game number 3 for sure. But game number 2's GG is coming up. And we'll go back in a second after taking a look at the achievements. Let me check the predictions over here. There we are. Yo, Seahorse Gal, didn't you resubscribe like 2 days ago? It seems like I'm misremembering stuff. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of as well. Didn't we do this the other day? We did. And you got a compliment for your name. That's a fantastic name. Just 1 month short of 2 years already. It's September, right? It is. It is September. Yes. Which I always forget to sell out about. But yeah, if you would like to... There we go. The GG's coming up over here as Repart takes game number 2. Let's play the predictions as well. And let's take a look at the achievements really quickly before jumping into game number 3. We're going to have to wait a little bit though, because there is some spec delay and we have to go through the saves and the maps. But yeah, this one was looking very good for Sora Kuma in terms of KD overall, but that's not something that Repart was particularly concerned about, given the sheer amount of military he had to work with compared to Sora Kuma. Even at this point, you can see 63 to 11 military units. Sora Kuma tried to catch up. You're missing 1 L. Mormasil? Mormasil? Is that correct? It's Wallhalla. Wait, Wallhalla. But yeah. Sora Kuma was never really able to catch up in military, unfortunately. For economy, on the other hand, we do see a much stronger economy for Repart as well, so you can see how the KD not being quite as good for Repart wasn't really much of an issue as Sora Kuma was, you know, so far behind both in resources collected. So cost effectiveness was not the biggest issue for Repart, and then also military count. So well played. And we'll take a look at what we get for game number 3. And so we get to game number 3. This one could actually be somewhat of a longer game. Actually, sorry, somewhat of a shorter game. So if you want to get your predictions going, this is about the time to do it. They'll be on for 5 minutes. But I will probably not wait too much longer to get the predictions in. Obviously, the game's not going to be over by the time the predictions are closing. Players will probably just be on their way to the FLH. But you gotta keep in mind, this map is not going to be quite as fast. So you don't want to wait too much to speculate on the game and go at the very last second. This could be much faster because first off, the players are going to begin surrounded by palisade walls, which are not anywhere near as strong as stone walls. And they're going to have an incentive to go out into the open and try to collect some extra resources. So we see, for instance, Repart on the left-hand side going up the north. And he's going to start collecting some of the shore fish over here with a bunch of villagers, which will usually prompt some aggression from both players early on in the field, usually with scouts. It's interesting then to see the ball players over here going for civilizations that will start going for archers instead. I was looking at the screen for 2 minutes thinking it was quiet today. It turns out I had set the volume at 0. It happens. I'm not really sure if I get this Japanese pick from Sora Kuma. Well, the Japanese on this map seem kind of like an odd choice. Yes, you're gonna go for water, you're gonna take advantage of your fishing ships, the extra HP, the extra armor, the faster working rate. Instead, you're just going to have the discount on drop-off buildings, right? And the faster attacking infantry starting in the FLH. So, I mean, I guess if he goes for a Manatar's archer push, which is what we are expecting from his civilization, it could be really, really strong if he does end up catching Repart off guard. But it's a little bit of a gamble because it's going to have an incredibly strong civilization for FLH push, but then it's not really going to scale too nicely into the future. I guess you do get fully upgraded arbalesters and cavalry archers. But yeah, against Mayans, it's going to still be pretty rough to survive basically the entire game until you get to that point. Is anyone playing Dravidians on this map? I can take a look at that. Give me a moment. Maps. Or at the very least, I can tell you if Dravidians are a popular civilization on this map. Okay, I'll have you know, for Wallhalla, on territorial, yeah, it's not going to be a top 5 civilization. So people might have been playing Dravidians, but it's not a top civilization on the map. Definitely not a top 5. That's so strange. It is. It is, yes. There we go. Village is gonna be here for a part. He already has the barracks up, so we'll see the archer range come up right away. He's making a play for goal, so yeah, this is expected. Yeah, Sarakuma obviously is gonna try and make a play for archers himself as well. I am fairly surprised that he's chosen not to go for any militias, because I really thought it was going to be a Man-at-Arms archer push. And now he doesn't really have much of anything. So he's gone up to the fuel age on 19 population, right? He's behind the Radiant villager count a little bit because of the bonus from Mayans. And he's going just for archers. I do not like this one bit. If you're trying to play for archers alone without the Man-at-Arms meat shield to potentially mix in some skirmishes with as well and put some good pressure, I just don't see how you're going to beat Mayans. Mayans get cheaper archers. So once we are up to the second archer range for ball players, Repard's just gonna be able to keep them queued much easier. The ball players are able to keep them queued at all times. Repard's simply going to get extra resources to go up to the castle age faster. So I just don't see how Japanese just going for archers are going to take on Mayans. I'm not really sure what the plan over here is for Sorakuma. The outpost switches sides by proximity, right? Yes, yes. The outposts, they are kind of always neutral. They are going to give a player vision, but they are not going to become that players. So you can go around and he would be able to still like convert this one if he came in with the Eagle Scout. Poles are always popular in closed maps. Poles seem to be really popular for this one. For most maps on this tournament, poles have been really popular. We have seen also Burgundians, Bohemians. Like your standard arena top civilizations have been very popular in many of these maps. Okay, well, this is good. If Repard's not paying attention to his units, I guess that's how Sorakuma gets ahead. But yeah, that's going to be only 3 units. Obviously not game ending from Repard. Just gotta be a little bit more careful. And Sorakuma, well, he's gotta be a little bit more aggressive over here. If he just plays defensively against Mayans, not only are Mayans going to have a much easier time getting ahead in the economy because of their fast or longer lasting resources, but then also we're gonna have for Sorakuma a little bit of a struggle in getting as many units out for the same resources that Repard pays less for archer line units. Good defense. And Repard's going for an Eagle Scout as well. Market on the way. Alright. Doesn't really have the economy to go up to the castle age. Not even close, and that's the case also for Sorakuma. Both players are kind of far away from that. Good push. Sarakuma's got some momentum, and I guess if he gets enough skirmishes over here, he could potentially take villagers down. It's just that now with 4, it's going to take forever. It's going to take 10 volleys from his full army. Well, if he brings the archers into the mix, that's going to be significantly less, but with skirmishes alone, he cannot really do too much. Besides just keeping Repard's army in check as well, but then Repard's going to ignore the skirmishes over here and go after the archers from Sarakuma. At this point in time, it seems like ball players will just make a play for the castle age. Nobody's going too heavily into military production at all. Although, just as I say that Repard goes for the second archer range, but I don't think we have 2 archer ranges for Sarakuma, do we? We don't! Yeah. Alright. Beautiful. Yeah, and Repart is on his way to the castle edge. Kuma's getting kind of close. But as we were talking about earlier, the Mayans are simply... Well, Mayans are Mayans, right? They're simply going to get ahead. If you just played like this, without really committing to the push, Mayans are just going to get ahead by quite a bit. So Repart's in a pretty good spot. It's going to be in the castle edge significantly earlier compared to Kuma, which means he'll get access to Eagle Warriors. He's been going for some Eagle Scouts right now, although I think he's got one barracks. He's going for the second one, which I like. So 2 barracks for Repart. He'll potentially go for a third one eventually if he gets enough gold income. Should be able to start spamming Eagle Warriors once he gets to the castle edge. And that's going to be significantly harder for, you know, for Kuma to hold on against. Especially with palisade walls over here, which won't really hold for much against Eagle Warriors. Beautiful. Castle Age is here as well from Repar. The Eagle Warrior upgrade's coming up. Kuma technically will have either Knights or Men at Arms or Lone Stars, right, to defend himself against the Eagle Warriors, but he's so far away from the Castle Age. Plus, the whole thing about the Eagle Warrior play over here is numbers, right? It's a numbers game, and it's all about overwhelming your opponent. So we do have 3 barracks already for Repar. Once he's done researching Eagle Warrior, and he's just gone for it, now he can queue from all 3 barracks, and this will make it so hard for Kuma to defend against everything. Once Repar gets to like 15, 20 Eagle Warriors, and then he comes forward and starts splitting the Eagle Warriors into smaller groups, he's going to start knocking on the door, on the multiple doors of Kuma, trying to take the walls down, and once he manages to breach on one side, he can just send all the Eagles in. He can just stream with the Eagles in and start splitting his army up and putting so much pressure that Kuma is going to struggle big time to defend against. So even a 4 siege workshop's coming out for Repart. He's taking no chances. He wants this to be the last game of the set, and everything seems to point out Repart taking this one, but for the time being, it's still some ways off between his current position and sealing the game up. Here we are. Here come the Eagles. Just trying to mass them up currently. Meanwhile, Kuma's got Knights coming out. And Repart's already on a good amount of units. If he's able to keep production going, he should be able to prevent the Knights from doing much of anything. Basically, he's got enough Eagles to take on the Knights. Easy. Ideally, he will want to go for chainmail armor, though it's only +1/+1 currently for Repart, which is far from ideal.
Shot it.
Here we go. There's a lot of people watching this the series right now, apparently. I wonder if the next set they are going to wait until this set's over before starting, or if they are just going to go right away, because it should have started 11 minutes ago. Here come the Eagles wall, though! That is so close! The quick walls from Kuma. Damn, boy, that makes a big difference. manages to stay close for the time being. Here we are. Beautiful. Yeah, that's too many Eagle Warriors for the Knights to hold on against over here. Plus the fact that Sora Kuma is kind of forced into using some of his economy just to keep the walls up is fantastic. Wanna go for Lone Swords here? He could go for Lone Swords, but it's not as readily available compared to Knights. As Knights, you can just queue them up. The Lone Swords, you need to get the upgrades for them. However, the problem with them is that they are pretty slow, so they are unable to keep up with the Eagle Warriors. So as long as your opponent's paying attention, they'll be able to wall run you and create some distance between their units and yours. Whilst with Knights, that's not going to be the case. Eventually the Knights are going to catch up to the Eagles. So it's going to be easier to defend with Knights, I guess. However, it's really going to depend on your opponent's ability to keep their units alive and to pay attention. If they are always macroing the Eagles so that your Lone Swords never catch up, then it's not going to be quite as effective. If they are not paying attention, yeah, Lone Swords are going to be probably the best answer. Yeah, and I love this. And this is how you do it. This is how you play Eagles. You see, it's not just one big push, but all the Eagles going in the same direction. We're going for the same angle. He's trying to push past over here. He's trying to push past up in the north. He's got another group of units over here down the south. And if he's able to keep the gate open over there, that would be huge. Still though, it's open up in the north and he's got a lot of Eagles over here. The HP pool is looking better for the Eagle. It seems like the Knights are actually going down over here so fast. Only 4 Knights, so it seems like the Knights are going to get cleaned up. And that's going to give repard potentially game number 3. You know, Sora Kuma can still go for more Knights and try to keep on holding over here. After all, this is match point as well. He might not want to call it right away. But he's getting cleaned up, man. And his military count is really low. While his villager count is still competitive, now that the walls have gotten breached, yeah, the Eagles are just pouring in, you know. Repard's got triple barracks production, so Sora Kuma's struggling big time to even keep stables working. For scale, you will have to play really defensive here since you are behind in going up. Does mobility matter here so much over the numbers? Well, if you get breached over here and then you start getting raided everywhere, the Knights will be able to catch up to the Eagles easily. The Lone Swords not so much, but once I get an engagement like what took place earlier over here, the Lone Swords would have absolutely murdered the Eagle Warriors. So it's a trade-off. You can go for either thing. Sora Kuma's chosen to go for Knights, but there's definitely a case to be made about Lone Swords as well. So yeah, you're not wrong, Balkinara. Sora Kuma's just made a choice. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it's going to work out for him. Yeah. Man, the quick walls he's going for. The quick walls he's forced into, they are just... Yeah, he calls a GG over here. So that was a pretty short game number 3 overall. Tips by a retired player. Yeah. Let's update the score over here, 3-0. So repard moves on, guys, to the round of 16 in the main event, where he's going to face one of the 8 invited players. We'll take a look at who that is by checking the brackets in a moment. For the time being, let's take a look at the achievements. Very close KD over here, always more cost effective when you're trading Eagles for Knights, of course. Much stronger economy for repard, which should surprise no one. Even if we had a somewhat comparable villager count, he did end up getting 1,300 extra resources because of Mayans. And towards the end of the game, of course, you take a look, the villager count over here was significantly higher for repard, and he was going to keep on getting further ahead as well. Well done. Drops coming out for the next series. All right.